Hi guys. All right. Oh, sorry, Chloe. I'm gonna get started. So this week, like I told you guys, this week, our video is it's gonna go over like a really wide range of information, but then later on I will make shorter videos and go over each one more in depth and specifically. But what I kind of want to do is give an overview of the whole entire process of adding someone, from all the way from like a hey girl message to then building a relationship, inviting them, whether then that's then selling a challenge pack, or it's then if a response was no, which I say those as a not right now response. Whether they tell me, yeah, I don't think so, you're crazy, it's a okay, they're a not right now response to me. And what kind of goes with that is just learning how to take some of those things though too, and having confidence in the process that you're doing and the steps that you're doing, and kind of just how you're building your network overall though too. It has taken me some time to learn that not everybody is going to be my specific niche, my market, my jam, my kind of people, and that's okay. And one of the best things about this business is that it is okay. You can choose those people and you can work with the billing and those type of things, but you have to do the process to find those people though first. So that's what we're going to go over today. So I'm going to kind of go over the steps on how I do that, and then I can show you some of the pieces and how I kind of keep track of people too. So first of all, of course, when you're trying to find these people, you always have to go outside of the network that you're in, because most of the time when you start this business, the first people you go to are the people that you're most comfortable with. And you go to that because they're easier to talk to and they're your people basically. You can explain things, you're comfortable around them, and that's fine. But those people start to run out. So you need to start adding more people and having, expanding your network and more opportunities to present this group and this opportunity and the accountability groups to other people. So what I do to do that is, in the morning, based on my schedule, I have adding my friend ads in the morning. So I scroll through the friend ads on Facebook as well as Instagram. I use both social media places to as my platforms. So I add to both of those areas, but let's just talk about Facebook specifically right now. So I go to the friend section and I add people from there. How I do that is I basically go through and what catches me about their profile pic and what catches me about their cover picture. If something about those two things catch my eye, then I go into their page, scroll through it quickly, and if there's something on there that I know I can relate to them with, or something that I think is interesting on their page, I'll add. So when I go through my ads, I find 5 of those type of people. When I do my ads, I look for ladies who are in my kind of age range, so all the way down from like 22-ish up to early 30s-ish, kind of people that I would be able to relate with too. If they have something about dogs on there, something about wine, or hanging out with friends, or tattoos, or their lipstick, makeup, those type of things, that's just kind of some stuff that I'm interested in, and I know I can easily talk to someone about all of those type of things. So that's what I'm looking for. Also currently, so where I'm at right now in wedding planning, anybody who has like wedding pictures or engagement pictures or those type of things, I'm also adding them because we have something in common. We have something we can really talk about and build that relationship off of currently for me. So then I go from there. When I make those ads, I do not add them into my tracker yet, because who knows, they might not accept it. So you don't want to add someone unless they accept your friend request, because then that means they can see your stuff and you can chat with each other. Because if you add it too soon, then you're keeping track of people who aren't even added to your Facebook page. And you don't want to do that because then that just adds more work for people who you're not really going to be building with, building that relationship with. So I always wait until they add me. So once they add me, I have another section of my time where I go and I send my, what they're called is Hey Girl messages. So what that means is it's your first initial message, whether you say hey girl or not. Sometimes I say hey lady or hi, you know, those type of things, or hey girl. And what is it that brought me to their page? You know how I said when I go through there and I find something that interests me, that's what I'm going to say. Most times it might just be like, hey girl, you came across my people you may know, and when I opened up your profile, I saw that you love lipstick. Oh my gosh, me too. Like, what's your favorite brand? Those type of things. Or let's say it's someone who has a wedding picture on their cover pic. Like, I was scrolling through my people you may know, and I saw your cover picture, and I wanted to add you because I think it's so pretty. Who is your photographer? Something like that. And I always end it with a question. Because if you end it with a question, that means there's that response back. There's going to be that conversation going between you two, and the reason why you're talking to them and having that first conversation. One of the things that I have had to learn is that these hey girl messages do not need to go into your invite. They do not need to end up being your invite into a challenge group, your invite into coaching. You don't need to drag them on. It might just be like, oh, hey girl, I really loved your cover picture. Who was your photographer? They might say, oh, it was so-and-so. I love them. They were great to work with, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, oh, that's awesome. Something along the lines of, I've been looking for other places, other photographers to look for. That's really great to hear about them. And if they just kind of end it and don't ask me any further questions, they might just be like, yeah, you should look them up. And then that's kind of it. Then it's fine to just be like, yeah, thanks for letting me know about them. Again, I think your picture is beautiful. I hope you have a great day, or I hope you have a really fun weekend. Something like those lines. That's fine. It's okay to keep it short. You don't need to be making this like weird, awkward silence and like, oh, cool. There's no need for that. It's fine to just cut it off and just leave it there. Because one of the things too with that is they're going to be noticing your page, or you're going to be noticing theirs too. When we go into the tracker, I'll talk to you more about how you'll kind of continue reoccurring to them. But they'll now be looking at your page. They added you, so they scrolled through your page, and now they're looking at the things that you have been posting. Right there, automatically, that's a win. Even if it was someone who just was like, okay, so let's say I had that and I said, your cover picture is really pretty. Who is your photographer? And they just responded back with so-and-so photography. Okay, that's it. That's fine. If someone doesn't respond to you that way, you might want to add something into your tracking system to say you might need to build a relationship a lot better because they're not really that open to conversation to someone new. That could just be it, is that you're this new person. They really don't quite know you. There was something they liked about your page, so they added you, but they're not into having this full-on chatting session with you. That's okay too. Again, they looked at your page and it's someone new adding that you can build a relationship with. So then just keep it at, oh, thanks, awesome. I'll have to look them up. I hope you have a great weekend. Boom, that's it. Don't need to drag it on. Don't make it awkward. It's okay. So after I do my Hey Girl messages, how I keep track of people. There are so many different ways of how you can do that, and I have played around with a couple of them. But what I personally use is Teamsy, and I use it because I can use it on my phone. I can use it on the computer. And it keeps me focused on what I'm supposed to be doing in my small allotted times. If you go back to another one of our previous videos about schedules, I really keep my schedule tight because, I've got work, I'm working out, relationship, wedding planning, blah, 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 all those things, which I'm sure a lot of other people have other things in there, kids included, those type of things. where you want to make sure you're focused. And this helps me stay focused. Now, everyone's not the same as that. Some people like paper and pencil, and that's fine, where they can check things off and move them to lists and those type of things. And that worked for me at first, though, too. When I first got it going, that's how it worked for me. I'm a very visual person, which is why Teamsy helps me, though. But paper and pencil help me visualize it. There are people who use Excel spreadsheets who have made different type of tracking systems where it's like, okay, I set my Hey Girl next on this date. What do I need to do next? And again, we can make a different video that goes into more of a bunch of different tracking systems, and whether that be paper and pencil, Teamsy, or those type of things. But again, like I said, I'm going to give you this whole general steps, and then on other videos, we can break them down more specifically. But like I said, so then next, after you do that first initial Hey Girl message, you'll want to put them in your tracking system. After you put them in your tracking system, you'll need to do something to follow up. So let's say that you had that person who was just like vibing with you. You're having this full-on conversation. You're actually finding out stuff about them. You might put them at a higher, at a different follow-up than you would of the person who just responded in that like one-word phrase and that was it, no questions, that's all, one and done. Because most likely that person who's having that conversation with you, you're going to build that relationship a lot faster, and you can invite them to your group, invite them to be a coach a lot sooner than you could that other person, just because the relationship's there. Most of the time, you'll be able to find something, well, that's going to make you want them in your challenge group, whether that's their personality, whether that's their people person, whether they just have a lot of friends and they like to, get to know people, whether they made statements on their page about working out or these funny memes about being fat, those type of things, or overeating, or I love pizza, those type of things. You're going to start to notice those things on their page, and that's what's going to help you go to that invite, go to that coach opportunity invite from there, just by following up with them. So whereas you might have the other person who had like a short phrase response, you might need to do that building relationship part where you might need to comment on their posts, like some of their pictures, some of those things for at least a month before you can even find something that's going to give you that in about talking about an invite to a challenge group or the coaching opportunity, because they might be a little bit more reserved and not open to share experiences, those type of things, or there might not be enough activity on their page, stuff like that. One of the things that you want to make sure is happening is that you're building the relationship first. You're understanding where they're coming from. You're understanding and finding out what their struggles are or what's working for them and what's not, and those type of things. So that way you can at least say, this is what I have to offer, and this is why you want it. This is what it is going to help you with. Because if not, you're just being like, hey, you should do this. Okay, why? But by tracking them and following up with them and doing those type of things, that's where you get to know their why. Like, well, why are they going to want this? But you need to make sure you have enough time in between your Hey Girl message and that invite to build that relationship. Most of the times we see you add a friend, you send them their first initial request, you invite them, you either send them a challenge pack link or they say no. But there's that section in between that Hey Girl message and that invite that you need to make sure that relationship is built. Especially if it's someone you don't know and you're just know them based off building your network. You need to make sure that you have given that time for that relationship to build, for them to be there for the long haul, or for you to really understand what's going to work for them, what type of program is going to be best for them. Maybe they're just full on weights and they, are really awesome at their nutrition piece already. Or maybe they love to run and they need way more help in the nutrition parts. You're going to need to know what are they going to want. I heard this off of another call that we said it's not about what I want to give you that's going to bring you to me. It's about what you want from me that's going to make you come to me. Like, what is it that someone is going to want to have? So what it was, the analogy is that you have to give the fish the bait that they like for them to come. You can't give them something that's going to be completely random, because then they're not going to want it. That's not for them. That's not my stuff. I don't want that. But if that's something that someone's seeking, their why, then they're going to come to you. They're going to want it. So let's say you've already built that relationship and you go to inviting. So you say, I really noticed that you really love to motivate people. I see your motivational posts about trying to get into fitness, and that you want to make a fresh new start. You have such a great personality and are already making motivational posts. I think you will really, really love the vibe of my challenge group. Does that sound like something you might be interested in? And I can give you more information. So let's say they say yes. You give them more information, and then they're like, actually, no, I don't think so. That's not something I can do right now. I can't fit it in my schedule, blah, blah, blah. One of the things I have also learned is do not just cut them off there. Don't say, oh, okay, I understand, maybe next time, and leave it at that. Ask them another question. Say, don't even give attention to that they actually said no to you. You can just say, oh my goodness, I understand the no time thing. Like, I'm working all these hours, that type of stuff. What has got you so busy? Find out more. Find out more information. Maybe they're, maybe they just got a new job. Maybe they just got a new promotion, those type of things. That's going to help you build that relationship and make you understand them more, that when they are ready, or maybe there's another deeper personal link that you can add to why this would be a better fit, you might get that yes from there. If not, you're just building the relationship and understanding them better and not just cutting them off. So then, of course, obviously, if they do say, yeah, I'd love to do that, you send them the link for the challenge pack and you put them into your next group. One of the harder things to hear most of the time is hearing, no, that's not for me. But what really eases the blow, I guess, is if you don't even acknowledge that they say no. Acknowledge their reasonings why they say no, and just find out more information from them. Just ask a question about that. If it's money right now, like if they say, no, I don't really have money for that right now, and for me personally, when I first was offered about Shakeology and stuff, I was like, I'm not spending that money on that. But, if someone would have said, what are you spending your money on? Or why is that a tight fit for you right now? What's going on, kind of thing. I really would have been like, well, I don't know, and then gone from there. But to take their no response and their reasonings as more information from them. Don't take the no as so personal kind of thing. It's more personal about them because it's their reasonings for their not right now. So that's how I take it as. They're just saying not right now because, and then you ask them more about their because. Don't just take it as they're saying no to you, which is a hard thing to learn at first. It is. But as soon as you get to learn that, you're going to start building relationships a lot better. So now that we've kind of gone just over the view of what that is, I'm going to show you what my Team Z looks like. So that way you can kind of see visually what that looks like and how I kind of go through that process of sending the Hey Girl messages and tracking the people that I'm talking to. Okay. Hello. All right, here is my Team Z. I have changed up my dynamic a little bit of how I use Team Z, so don't take those follow-ups all the way completely. I just went through and revamped my whole entire Team Z and added so many activity notes that I need to, the number looks very daunting. But I've done my workout today, I've had my shake, I've done my personal development through podcasts, and I have done my social media posts. So here is what my dashboard looks like. When I go to on the business tracker, I say what my goals are. So what my goals are as far as business building, those type of things. And it tells me how many prospects I should be talking to, how many customers I should be getting in contact with, and how many coaches I should be staying in contact with. How many people I want to be adding, as well as how many invites, which I got to do my invites from my follow-up this evening. But so what I do is when I'm looking for someone, I go onto my Facebook page. So I've sent out 5 requests a day. So a lot of times you're not going to get those 5 requests. You're not going to get those 5 accepted friend requests all within that day. Most of the time they're going to come randomly, but I only check them all at one time. But I'm going to check them again just to see if we've gotten any new that I could show you guys. Okay, so we've gotten 2 new ones, Caitlin Fiscus and Ashley Herrera. All right, so then I go back to Caitlin Fiscus because it's been a little while since I added her. But what I loved was her cover picture. Like, look at that. Doesn't it look so gorgeous? It looks so pretty. And then so you kind of go through here, scroll down, see anything currently that she's been doing. And then I go, so my reason was her cover picture. So I go over here and I go to Caitlin Fiscus. And I can't see my add button. I go add contact and I put in Caitlin Fiscus. And I go add. Right here is where I based my stars off of. I put, and I do this after I send the Hey Girl message. I do it based on like, okay, if she sends me that like 1-word response phrase, I'll put it down to a 2. And in my note, which you'll watch me do, I'll put next follow-up, like and comment more pictures. Let's say we start vibing, she really starts talking to me back and forth. I'll put her up about a 4 or 5. And on my follow-up, I'll just have it as continue a conversation about something on her page. So again, some more business building relationship. And then on my next follow-up, I would invite her. But just for the beginning purposes of this, let's shoot her over a message. So you came up on my people you may know. And I freaking love your cover picture. Where's that taken? Just because too, I've been wanting to go hiking in different places, which the weather's probably not going to be doing that. But if I like to know different places, if that is nearby me, if I could go. So then I'll send that to her, and then I'll go over here to my Team Z, and I push that I connected, and I sent a Hey Girl message about her cover pic. Asked where it was taken. So then I'll want to follow up with her in about, this depends sometimes, which I'm kind of doing this in a faster pace. It would depend on how many stars she gave. So if I give her 2 stars, then I'll probably want to follow up in 2 or 4 days just to go comment and like stuff on her page. If I want to give her, if I'm like really vibing with her, then I'll want to give her 4 or 5 stars, and I'll want to get back with her in about 4 days to a week and just start another message with her. I really only go over here about like 2 weeks, 3 weeks a month. If it's someone who is like, who's currently pregnant, or I have another one who's going through surgery, and I'll want to check in with her before that happens. So I'll put it a little later out, just because I know some of that stuff's going right now and won't be an actual prospect for a challenger or coach at that moment. So then I would put it out a little bit more. But for her, I'm going to put it in about a week. I'm going to give her 3 stars because I'm not sure yet. What type? So how did I send out this message? So I did a Facebook. I said when I was going to follow up. If this was an invite, I would add it right there, and I would say what type of invite it was, to a free group, challenge group, business opportunity, those type of things. And then I would log them. Oops. Take that off. And then I would log my connect. So let me show you someone who I've followed up with. Let's see. Let's go see. Okay. I don't know if it's going to find someone old for me. Who did I just recently follow up with? Let's see. Lindsay. So for Lindsay, she's a friend of mine. And let's see. She is, so when I look back over here, she's recently lost weight doing physique. I've sent her non-Beachbody messages previously, back in May. And then I see after that she went and joined physique and lost weight. And so I chatted with her. And so when you go back, when someone comes back up into your follow-ups, you can at least see what's been happening as kind of like a timeline for what they've been doing. So it's really awesome to know what people have been doing, keeping track of them, those type of things. But like I said, we can go into how to keep different tracking systems at a later time. But that's pretty much the overall gist of how to go along the steps of finding someone new, sending them a first initial message, building that relationship, then inviting them to a challenge group or a coaching opportunity, and then what to do, especially if they say no, not right now. Find out more about their why, not too much about them actually saying no to you, but more about why is it that they are saying no? Like, what's attached to that? And just go off that. Don't even acknowledge that they really said no to you. Just go based off of finding out more information and just continuing to build the relationship with them. But obviously, if they do say yes to you, then you send them over that link and get them plugged into the earliest group that you possibly can. I would love to answer any questions that you guys might have. If you guys have any examples that you want to post, go ahead and post that underneath this video post, as well as any questions that you have about a Hey Girl message or a conversation that you're having and you're not really sure how to steer it. If you should continue the conversation or end it, let me know and we can work through that so that way we can have examples for other people. But if you guys have any other questions, let me know, and I hope you guys have a great Wednesday night. Bye.